Hi. I'm so excited to rendezvous with you, and I just had an experience right now when you were talking about the meditation. I was connecting in that moment to experience the inner being, and I was like, what is my inner being saying to me?
Raise your hand.
That's exactly, well, first it said, let it go, because I had been raising my hand before, and it was like, let it go. And then I was like, is that really my inner being, or is that my cerebral self? And then...
It doesn't matter if your cerebral self is in concert with your inner being. This is a good moment. We're not asking you to ask your inner being to do all the thinking. We're just asking you not to belch resistance into the equation.
Okay, can you break that apart a little bit? Because it was literally, and I feel like this wasn't at all what I was intending to ask, but I find I'm very...
Well, your experience is so much more important for you than any words that we might offer, because you experienced some resistance, you breathed it away, you focused, you received an impulse, you followed the impulse, and the impulse led to something that you wanted. So you just demonstrated for yourself alignment, not great alignment, better alignment, getting what you want.
And it was like in a second.
Yeah, that's the way it is. That's why timing is so good. Often it's split seconds when you're there. And can you imagine, since your inner being always knows where everything you want is and knows what the path of least resistance for you to move to it is, can you feel the value of you having more moments where you're receptive and responsive like that? Where a lot of people run around really out of sync and wonder why they don't get any clues, or then worry that they're going to miss it. Well, you're not going to miss it. Just keep your mind focused on what matters, which is feeling good. We don't want any of you to be running around the planet with your dominant intent be, gotta hook up with inner being, gotta hook up with inner being, gotta hook up with inner being. Because unless you're doing that thing you do, you are hooked up with your inner being. Unless you're fussing over something or mad at something or making a big deal out of something. In other words, unless you're doing those things that don't feel good, you are in sync with your inner being. Your inner being loves exploring this world with you. Your inner being loves looking up at the sky and out at the sea and across the lawn and at the beasts and into the eyes of others. And your inner being loves it when you watch television and look for beautiful things of your world. Your inner being is integrated with you. You don't have to be some freaky person sitting in a cave in a state of meditation making a strange sound of Om. You don't have to be like that. You just have to know that your inner being exists, and knowing that your inner being is a strong vibe, and know that your inner being is aware of you, and knowing that your inner being is always flowing to you. And then just pay attention to how you feel and do your best to feel good as much as you can, and meditate every day to show yourself what it feels like to be really in sync. And then have fun with it. Don't make a big deal about it. None of us are sitting around, oh, they're going to meditation class. Now we'll be able to talk to them more. There's none of that going on. Because if you're not available, somebody else is. There are birds flapping around everywhere that will do anything we ask them to do. Squirrels and dogs and beasts of all manner. If we really want to see something, we look through the eyes of a fly, really good fly eyes. If we really want to smell something, we don't smell through you. You're limited. We smell through your dog. Your dog has really, really good ability to smell and hear. Oh, if we really want to hear something, if we really want the physical sensation of smelling or hearing, you don't translate those vibrations as well. But if we want emotional viewpoints of the world, you're our people. And there's nothing more interesting to us than what you care about, because you are the leading edge of creation. So you've been out here banging around with each other, causing an expansion of the universe. And we revel in the expanded universe that you've created. But oh, are we ever eager for you to get in on the expanded universe that you've created? Nothing is more thrilling to us than for you to catch a glimpse in a moment of timing of something that you've been asking for, and to consciously know it. It just doesn't get any better than that. You know, when you've heard a really good joke and you just can't wait for somebody to share it with, or you've seen a really good quote somewhere, or something has really moved you in a strong way and you just want to offer it to someone else. Well, that's what we all feel like, because we've seen into your vortex. We know what's there. We're over the moon about what you've already created, and we can't wait for you, well, we're not impatient, for you to find a glimpse into it, you say. Helpful?
Yes.
And?
I had so many questions about different areas of my life, but right now it feels frivolous to ask them.
Because every question you have access to in the moment answers that are responding to right where you are on your path. The other day, Esther was driving with her daughter Tracy, and they were going into a part of San Antonio that Esther was not familiar with. And they've been there a few times, and Esther usually drives and Tracy usually tells her where to turn. And Esther is laughing because they had just been there the day before, and Esther couldn't remember what the route was. And so Esther said, now tell me what my exit is. And Tracy said, your exit is Hildebrand. And Esther said, all right, don't tell me anything else till I get there. Because she knew if Tracy says Hildebrand, then you're going to take a right, then you're going to take another right, then you're going to take a left, then you're going to... Esther's not going to hold all of that, and you don't need to hold all of that. You've got guidance from your inner being who knows right where you are, and you got to know the path of least resistance is a changing thing. The path of least resistance changes because there are other factors that are affecting it. And so if you're tuned into live guidance, do you need to hold a bunch of stuff in your conscious mind? You don't, but you got to trust your live guidance.
So if I feel that I need the additional guidance, I'm also introducing the dual end, which is the doubt.
Now, wait a minute. Say that again. If I feel like I need
additional guidance.
What do you mean additional guidance?
So like if I needed to know where I'm going after Hildebrand, like where else I'm going, all of the steps, how I'm going to get.
You're too far ahead. You don't mean additional guidance. You mean future guidance. Yeah. If you feel like you need guidance about future turns, you're misusing your guidance system. Your guidance system is right there with you. Don't you just want to wait until the impulse to raise your hand or to turn right?
So it's just in the immediate. It's in the moment.
Sort of like what you just lived.
I know. That's very unsettling. I know, but yeah.
Well, there's nothing wrong with having a general idea where you're going. Anything that soothes you and makes you feel better is a good idea. We're not saying just get out of bed and stumble into the world and say, my inner being will figure it out and hopefully I'll hear them. That's not what we're saying at all. You're wanting to find this perfect balance between your intentions. You see, you like the feeling of your hands in the clay. So you want to take the action and you want the ideas to occur to you. We're not trying to teach you to be puppets that your inner being is going to guide. It's not like that at all, because you are the one calling all the shots. You're the one who lived the contrast that told your inner being what you want. You are the source of all the information that your inner being is holding on your behalf. Just learn to use your guidance system in the way that works best for you. And the way that works best for you is to, as much as possible, be in an attitude or mood of satisfaction. If you're in a mood of anxiety, you're not going to hear, even if your inner being knows. If you're in a mood of anger, you're not going to hear, even since your inner being knows. So you want to be in that place of hearing. Well, what's the place of hearing? Satisfied. Satisfied and more. Satisfied and eager and appreciative and in love and eager and playful and fun and frisky. All of those moods are in the vibrational range of your inner being. And so it's not a hard thing. But as humans, you've trained yourself to be so solemn and serious. My inner being is not being playful with me. My inner being wants me to be serious about this deliberate creation, because after all, I'm here to save the planet. No, you're not. The planet does not need to be saved. You're not here to prove anything to anyone. You're here to create your reality with the help of infinite intelligence and a source of goodness beyond our ability to describe it. That's why you're here.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I've released enough physical resistance that I have a lot of really fun things happening, which is great. And I know you talk about that a lot, just letting things be, because you put so much into the vortex already.
But we want to add to that. Just let things be. Ready? Because you've got no choice. You don't control the world. Might as well let things be. But a lot of you think, I'm not here to let things be. I'm here to make the world a better place. How do you make the world a better place? By the things that be causing you to ask for something different. And when you get billions of people observing the things that be and they ask for something different, don't you think you're creating a different world? Don't you? Don't you?
You talk about focusing on what you want, and I have a confusion over, do you need to do that, or can you just let things be?
Well, you make a really good point. The best answer is, as long as you're not focusing in opposition to what you want, you're good. But an expanded, even better version of that best answer is, once you've got that down so that you are consistently focusing in the direction of what you want, to focus with specifics on what you want is way fun. It's quite enough to just not push against what you don't want. That's really a powerful first step, because when you give up the resistance and you just let the good be, then good happens around you. But being the deliberate creators that you are, once good starts flowing, we know you. You're going to want to focus with detail. You want to get in on it. You're going to want to say, I would like it to be this way, and then watch it morph to that. You see, the universe will stand on its head and deliver to you whatever you want, as long as you're not demanding that somebody else be different. The universe will not say, we'll make your world better by changing some other deliberate creator into something to please you. Are you listening to this? Source is an equal opportunity creator, uplifter, supporter. And Source will not take a side against anyone to support you. That's not how Source works. That's not how love works. There's no pushing against. There's no assertion. There's only attraction. So Source will support every good feeling notion that you have. And when you line up with every good feeling notion that you have, the universe will be abundant with beauty and bliss and eagerness and fun for you, you see. But in the moment that you ask Source to do one thing in opposition to one other, you're going to run into a roadblock, because Source does not do that. Source does not push against anyone or anything. Source follows the route of what you have stirred up and requested. Can you get that? Can you feel worthy enough to hear that? Can you feel whole enough to know that you get to choose, and so does everyone else? But there's something in the human mind that says, I get to choose, I get to choose, I get to choose, I get to choose, I get to choose. Not you, not you, not you, not you, me, 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 me. I get to choose. No, everyone gets to choose. And everyone is choosing. And everyone, to some degree or another, is allowing what they've chosen to come in. And when you witness someone who's done a lot of choosing, who's really blocked off, you call them strong desire, but not alignment, and not inspired, and not coming from love, and not coming from Source. The strong desire. And representing a large part of the population of the world. So let's not get too blameful about it. A whole lot of people finding their way just like that, in the same way. Helpful. We want so much to say to you how loved you are, and how understood you are, and how big your vortex is, and how good it is that you've created it, and how wonderful it is that your emotions tell you what your right now in this moment relationship is with all of that, and how the other people in the world are here to help you in your step one work. They're part of the contrast that causes you to ask. But once you've asked, now you have a whole other vibrational modality that is there to assist you. Humans are your step one friends. Boy, they launch you into more. And then your inner being focuses with you and calls you to the payload of what you've been asking for. And after the contrasting humans around you have helped you to launch your rocket, if you stop looking to them for behavioral changes in order to get what you're asking for, you hearing this? Don't need you to be different. You helped me launch the rockets. I do not need to look to you for the solutions that you've helped me ask for. And when you stop looking to the step one beings who helped you evolve, and you look to your inner beings who are there with you in your evolved state, now it all works so nicely. You heard that, didn't you?